shall receive. But you don't do the part that God has asked you to do, don't expect the blessings from God, because you're not going to get it. It's a two-way thing. You got to do your part in order to receive. Right. These things I command you, that you love one another. Amen. You know, a lot of people have left love out of it. Yep. And if we don't have the love of Christ, we're never going to win anybody. We're never going to reach the world, and we're never going to make a difference. If we don't show the love, then how do you expect to get anywhere? You know, and talking about the Memorial Day, you know, there's a lot of people that gave their life for us to be able to be free and to be able to be where we're at today. Right. You know, and I appreciate, you know, everything that those that has lost their life for my freedom. Right. You know, and I appreciate, you know, Christ coming down in a human body and taking on the world and giving his life for me, that I might be able to see heaven and have it one day.
Right. Hallelujah.
If you have your Bibles, turn over to Mark chapter 8. And we're going to start in the second part of 34. The last part of 34, it says, "Whosoever will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me." Why do you think he said to deny yourself? Because sometimes we get in ourselves and it is not in the will of God. Right. And it's not in God's thinking or God's way of doing things. That's why he says, deny yourself, take up the cross and follow him. Because if you got your eyes on him, then you're not looking at everybody else and what they're doing.
That's right.
Amen. You can't point fingers at everybody else, because you know what? You got your eye on one thing.
That's right.
In verse 36 it says, "For what shall profit a man if he gain the whole world and lose his soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for your soul?" So I'm asking you today, what will you give in exchange for your soul? Pleasures of this life? Things that look good for a little while, that don't last?
Come on.
But I know something that's going to last forever and ever.
Eternally.
And I know exactly where you can get it, and it doesn't take but a grain of mustard seed of faith to get there.
Hallelujah.
And that ain't a whole lot if you stop and think about it. Right. But once you get that amount, then it can move a mountain. But you've got to have the faith.
That's right.
And you've got to believe. What will you give in exchange for your soul today? I don't want to spend another, a day not living for God, because what is it going to profit me in the end? But I want to be, every chance that I get, be able to witness to somebody about God, or to be a light, or to show them the way.
That's right.
What did he say? Be a friend. Love one another as Christ loved me. He said, just like I went back in John 3:16, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son." For who? Me.
That's right.
Make it personal, because that's what it's about. It's about you and God. It ain't about me and CC and God. It ain't about me and Judy and God. No, it's about me and God.
That's right.
And if I get what me and God needs to get on the same page, and we're on the same page, it don't matter what anybody else thinks, or what anybody else says, or what anybody else does. But you get your personal connection with him, and know that everything you're doing is for him, and everything else will work out. I promise you that much. I haven't been in it that long, but I grew up in church, and I know that God works when nothing else does.
Show nothing.
Right. Show nothing. Everything in life seems to be going the worst. God always shows up. He always makes a difference when Jesus passes by. There's been times, growing up, that we didn't have a whole lot, and like I said before, we didn't have a whole lot, and we were down to pretty much nothing. It was me and my mom. And I said, "Mom, all we had in the house was water to drink." And I had told her, I said, "Mama, I just want a Dr. Pepper." Well, Mama said, "We'll just pray about it." That was Mama's answer for everything. We'll just pray about it.
That's right.
And as a little kid, you're like, really? Okay, I was expecting, Mom to show up with a Dr. Pepper, but that didn't happen. But she prayed about it. It wasn't a few minutes later, right beside of our house was a senior center. And this guy would bring food there every day. And he came, he brought the food to the center, and lo and behold, he comes over to our house. And he had 2 Dr. Peppers. And he said, ma'am, I don't understand it. He said, and he was still shaking it. He goes, I don't understand it. He said, I counted everything 2 or 3 times. They was exactly the amount. He said, I got over here and I had 2 Dr. Peppers left over. And he said, I was going to throw them away, but he said, something just said to walk over and ask you guys if y'all wanted them. God will supply the
Hallelujah. He's always on time.
God will do it.
Yes, He will.
If you just have the faith.
He's true to His word.
And you stand on the word of God.
That's right.
And do your part. God will work it all out.
Right.
I've seen it many a times throughout, my life growing up. God always showed up right on time. He never left us hanging. Our lights never got cut off. Our water never got turned off. It was the exact amount, whatever my mother had after, paying. Let me stop right there and say, you give God what's His first,
right,
and He'll bless the rest.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
That's it.
That's the way my mother always brought up, was like, you give God His, and He will bless the rest once you got it. It didn't matter if there's only $20. Mama paid God what was His, was 10%, and God blessed that $20 and we had enough to feed 3 kids and pay the bills. So God works. And I'm still here today.
If you're working.
God will bless you. But you got to do your part in order for it
That's
to
right.
work.
Come on.
What will you give in exchange for your soul? If I leave you with nothing else today, think about it. What are you going to give in exchange for your soul? I know one thing that is better than anything in this entire world, and that is Jesus Christ. And if you don't know Him, I hope that you find a place, whether it's at an altar or it's in your room, or, personally, mine was not in church. We were in a car going home from church, and I accepted Jesus. It doesn't matter where you're at. It's if you just get in touch with Him and let Him know, I need you and I need things in my life. He'll supply the need. I promise you. He'll never leave you hanging. He'll never stand you up. And He will never, forget about you. And I'm a really forgetful person. I can forget everything. Lose everything. But you know what? I can rest assured when I go to God with something, He's not going to forget about me.
Right.
He's not going to, I forgot about that. No, He always comes. He may not come on the time limit that I want Him to.
Come on.
But He'll come right on time.
Right on time. Hallelujah.
So I just hope y'all got something out of this today, knowing that, just take in consideration this weekend, in the day that's coming up on Monday. Let's not forget about the freedom that people risk for us to be able to be free. And just think about it in a spiritual sense. God, if it's only begotten Son for me, so I can be free. And let's just look around.
Yep.
And be thankful for what we have, and God will bless us with more.
That's right.
Does anybody have any prayer requests or anything that they want to pray about today? The altars are always open. We're always here if you ever need us. We're just a phone call away. If not, everybody that can and will, let's stand and we'll go to the Lord in prayer. Sister Marilyn, you want to pray over the tithe and offering?
Sure do. Dear Heavenly Father, we want to thank you, Lord, for what you provide. And we just want to thank you for providing for us, and Lord, that we can give back to you, Lord. And Father, we just ask you to bless those that didn't give, that they may be able to give next time, Lord. Father, we ask these tithes be used for the manifestation of your kingdom, and Father God, for the glory of your coming. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Thank everybody for being here today, and let's be back next Sunday. Amen.
Amen.